Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NECC Rocket League Week 1 for Season 0. My name is Bash from the past, and joining in the booth with me is another familiar face to the NECC in Hyferia. Welcome, my friend. The last time they saw the two of us, we were outroing the last event the NECC had in their Fusion tournament. We got the final game of that, had a couple interviews, and got to say goodbye before right now. We are back in the booth. We are back ready for this first match. How are you doing today?
All I'll say is we went out with a bang. Let's get in there with a bang as well. Week 1, I'm incredibly excited for this. I've been looking forward to it, and we've only got phenomenal matches coming up as well. That is the best part. All the matches are absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. And if you guys have not seen, we have a bit of a different schedule than we did last season. Last season, we had a couple of games, 3 to 4 at the maximum. Now, we're coming at you with as much Rocket League action as you can handle. 7 games in a row. We will be here all night with a whole new expanded cast. I've brought in a bunch of people from the outside, some new casters for the NECC, and I am very proud of the team that we now have assembled. Like I said, this is just starting now. It will be me and Hyferia for this very first match. Hyferia, you will be here for the next match as well, but I will be back at the very end of the night. But before we focus on the rest of the night, let's focus on the game that we've got at hand. Becker versus West Point. We're starting off in Division 2 in the East, in our mid-tier division. This is going to be an absolutely incredible match. Becker, a returning team, which we had seen before. They've been a great squad that we've seen before. And now we've got West Point coming in from New York, and they're a new squad to this NECC universe, we'll call it. And, well, I'm excited to see what they've got here today. Hyferia, just sort of looking at the two teams, I know we don't have necessarily the most info. All we really have is the fact that these teams both had a couple of wins and a couple of losses during preseason. What are you hoping to see out of these two teams once they hit the field here?
So this is not like the absolute top tier level because it's a uni team. You don't get to really choose, or a college team. You don't really get to choose who you put on your team. So I'm just looking how they play together. With teamwork, you can achieve so much, even though you might not be able to pull off all the mechanics that the absolute top tier does. So that's something I'm looking for. And obviously, these teams have played a preseason. Both of these teams did go negative in that preseason, both losing one more game than they've won, whereas they both kept it incredibly close though. And West Point, I think every single game has gone to game 5, so I wouldn't be surprised if West Point would be a team that manages to keep it incredibly close and have a lot of offense going continuously, then don't really manage to finish those opportunities. And that's something that I'll be looking for from West Point. And this is a complete gamble as well. This is literally me looking at the games and thinking, you know what, that could be the case. So I'm hoping they have good accuracy on the shots.
Yeah, we gotta hope so. That's one of the biggest things is not only the accuracy just on the overall shots, but coming into this one and starting off that way. A lot of teams, it takes them a second to get warm, to really get, adjusted to the scene here. And it really is somewhat of a disorienting thing to get into a league like this, to be on stream and to have to perform in this, audience. It's a lot more difficult than a lot of people would expect, and the pressure really is there. So I think we're just about waiting on these teams here. We've got everybody in the game here, so we're going to start up in just a little while. And honestly, I'm just excited to see how these teams start off. I think that consistency is going to be one of the biggest and most key things in this game here. And honestly, I just want to see a good game. I just hope we have some action here. The NECC delivers every single time before, so I don't think it's going to be any different now. And as the teams hit the field here, Hyferia, it is time, my friend. The very first game of Season 0 of the NECC. Good luck to both of the teams. Let's see what they got.
And they have the pressure on them as making it a good first game as well. Obviously, both teams would like to take home in a sweep. But as PA on the sidewall, Santos a little bit quicker. But he zero boost, still has his flip though. Gets it towards the backboard where there will be someone waiting and now has to force rotate back because he doesn't have any boost left in the tank. PA, how far can he get this? Yokels is right underneath, extends it, tries to get it into the center, but his reverb trying to get that one out of the defense. And that's what 30 boost. We'll get a second touch in towards the mid tank, bro. Barely missed, and it's already a good start coming out from both sides. They're both creating opportunities.
They're both putting on a lot of good pressure here. Paul has to hit that one out to try and relieve some of the pressure, but you can see that they're trying to keep pace up, and that's one of the biggest things is being able to play confidently while keeping a good pace here. To see them do this to start off, well, I'm pretty impressed so far here. Both teams are playing extremely well, though. I don't think that we're going to see a goal come through quite yet, as neither one of them really want to give up this midfield presence here. Tangbro going to try and maybe open up an opportunity, but Santa's got to come in to recover. No one. Oh, never mind. I was going to say no one gets the shot. Reverb done, and Santa will finish it off out of nowhere, making me eat my words. Reverb comes flying in to redirect this one, and Santa will finish it off in front of the net.
Santa, he's known as a little bit of a massive man, and he shows it there as well, forcing his way through there. Zero boost in the tank as well, but he still gets it through. Now another good kickoff from Santa as well. Tangra has an opportunity, gets it through, and 3v3 kickoff goals. They shouldn't happen much, but West Point, they prove they can still happen.
Oh my word, they're going to just annihilate here to start off 2-0 within only a minute and 15. They went from maybe taking a lead to absolutely taking the lead here, and now we need to see a good response out of Becker right now. They're down by 2. We've seen them in positions like this before. We know they have the resiliency, but they're going to need to start now and right quickly, as they do not have that much time. A 2-0 deficit in a game this close is going to be a lot. And as this is popped out to midfield, they're really not going to have much chance. Reverb going to try and go the opposite way with this one. Out to Tangbro, who will fake out, giving Santa a shot. That one's going to go high. Reverb will have the double touch, though. And, ooh, here we go. West Point, all of a sudden, they are just starting to pop on off.
Tangbro, the art of missing the ball. I absolutely love it. Coming in with a massive fake and getting it through, giving his teammates the room to actually try and create that goal. And they get the double tap hit as well. Good consistency already coming in from West Point. It's just Becker who have to step up to the plate a little bit as well. And there's still a lot of Rocket League left to play. 3 minutes on the clock. So there's still more than enough time for West Point to start making mistakes as well. So Becker can potentially force their way through. But as Reverb forcing a double commit and almost getting that one through. BA is incredibly awkward. Reverb cutting in rotation, but he gets the touch nonetheless. Yokels should be able to get an easy clear out though.
Again, it's just this pressure out at midfield that we're seeing right now. West Point do not want to give up any possession to their opponents here. We're almost halfway through the game, and I'd honestly say maybe 30 seconds or so we've seen West Point on their own side. Besides that, it's been pretty much all offense out of them. They really have not had to make many saves. They do make one there. Tangbro is going to show that they can make them if they need to, but already they're back out of their own half and starting an offense all over again. Santa's got an open net, though, and will drill the shot off of the top bar. Not exactly sure what happened here. I think it's just a poor touch out of Yokels, but the rotation on the back half should have been there. This is just unfortunate.
I think Mountain Drew, who I hope really shows up purely because of the name, but I think he got baited in by the boost a little bit too much, was too far out of the play, and thus was not able to get that save out. But Mountain Drew, here he goes on the offense. Maybe he's able to rectify his mistake directly, and obviously, mistakes are something that happens, and you'll just have to capitalize on them or innovate a way to deal with them. Now Santa, is he getting the clear out? He does. It's Becker who needs to up the pressure a little bit. You're 4 goals down, 2 minutes in, and you need to start going. A good demo comes out from Yokels. That might create some space. That's Tangbro who gets that one out. Maybe even the shot. No, Mountain Drew gets in the way. But once again, Becker, they need to start going.
Yeah, we need to see some sort of change here out of Becker right now. Maybe just keeping up this midfield presence. Maybe trying to play a bit more, I don't know, quickly. I think the pace is really hurting them pretty badly here. As again, it's just they don't seem to be getting to the ball before their opponent that much. Very much seems that West Point are able to jump to this way quicker than Becker right now. And it's something I think they can definitely improve upon, and they can make those necessary changes quickly. But I don't know if they're going to be able to do it in game number 1. They're down 4-0 so far with only about a minute 20 left. It might not be about changing up the gameplay and taking game 1 as much as trying to have a clean finish here. If they can try and regain confidence, if they can get 1 goal in, it might be enough. A good save at a Mountain Drew will reinstill some confidence, but now they've got to get out of their own half. The save is not enough. We need to see that counterattack. That's a good pass, but interrupted by Reverb. I mean, Becker are doing all the right things here, Hyferia. They're making the calls that they need to. They just seem to keep getting interrupted by West Point.
Yeah, it seems as if Becker's not really able to go quick enough to certain balls. They stand still in the goal, which makes you lose the momentum, and thus the clear out will be a little bit weaker. And with that, also directly meaning that it'll be intercepted quick. Now, Pia, that's good speed on him. On the side of West Point as well, it seems as if Reverb is the one who kind of makes the play happen. He kind of has a great mechanical ability to create space for his team, and then you've got incredibly consistent players to capitalize on that. And here he goes off the side. Well, might be able to get that one in. Oh my word, Reverb got incredibly close to that. I did not expect that to happen with 14 seconds left. I think with Becker, they can start thinking about the next game and potentially score a goal. They're gonna try and keep it out with Reverb on the sidewall, and this one is all over for Becker.
Unfortunately for Becker, they just didn't have the time to try and score one. Maybe they'll get a chance here as this one pops out at midfield, but I don't think anyone's going to get to it. Mountain Drew will take a shot off the top of Yokel's car, but as it goes out to the other side, West Point will finish with a clean sheet. 4-0 there. That is a rough start for Becker. I definitely think that they've got some places that they need to improve upon, specifically within their possession, but I think they've got a shot here. This was just a stellar start for West Point, and sometimes that does happen. Sometimes teams take a second to get warmed up, take a second to really get in their element, and for Becker, it doesn't really seem like they were in their element there. Only 3 total shots versus their opponents, who had 11. West Point just all around, pretty much every player on the team was a stat sheet here. Santa being the top at 2 goals, 2 assists, a save, and 3 shots, but everybody else underneath has at least 1 in each category, whether it's goals, assists, saves, or shots. So really all of West Point playing very well in that first game.
Yeah, it can also be the nerves of the first game of the season. You're the first one on the Rocket League stream. Obviously with the R6 stream yesterday, well, yeah, Becker, they're going to have to improve a little bit because obviously losing 4-0, that's not really the way you want to go. It's something that can just happen without necessarily changing anything. It can just be the way you go into the matchup, the way you feel. And be like, oh, you know what? I didn't like that. I'm going to start trying solo plays a little bit more, create an opportunity that way. It doesn't even necessarily have to be anything massive. Well, it does have to be something. And Becker, I definitely think they can do it. They showed capabilities of creating opportunities. They just need to actually make them into fruitful moments as well.
Yeah, we need to see them capitalizing on those opportunities. We really need to see the Becker team that is, I don't know what the word is. Advantageous here might be the right word. I'm not sure. They just need to jump a little bit quicker. It seems like they're getting beat by Army West Point every single time that they have a chance here. So we're going to have to see what happens as it looks like the game is underway. 5 minutes on the clock. Second game here. A 1-0 lead to West Point. They have got to try and keep that here. If they give a game to Becker, there's a chance for them to come back, but we're going to have to find out. As so far, it's a little bit of chaos here in game 2. Reaper will take a shot, but it's not going to be on target. Somehow through the chaos, it looked like West Point was still going to walk away with the early lead, but for right now, Becker are able to hold off.
Santi was looking to come in massive once again. He had 0 boost, but he was not backing down. He was just staying in. And Tango, he might have an opportunity. Doesn't really get the angle. Reverb also does it. Yokels does not beat the last man. And that could have been a phenomenal opportunity, but Santa's last man gets in the way. Yokels still has an opportunity. That goes in towards the mid. Yokels tries to find a plunge. He does not manage to find one. Now Santa goes the other way as well, trying to find a demo. As Mountain Drew, who has the opportunity to take a shot. Well, it was Reverb in the corner trying to go for that boost. He didn't cover the entire goal, but the shot was not good enough. PA, he could just make an opportunity here. He gets it back, but it's off the post. And now Yokels also get that ball one back in. And PA will finally 50 that one in after an insane run of play.
Talk about taking the most of your opportunities here. Becker would not give up no matter how much the pressure is just sustained the entire time. West Point tried to clear it no matter what, but they could not. 1-0. Becker off to the start we were hoping for here, and definitely showing a lot more offensive firepower than before. Question is where those their defense still keep up to the test, as they do have some scary opportunities coming out of West Point. They will regain out at midfield here. Reverb though can't get a follow-up touch, so Paul with a great second touch. Tangbro will be there, but again, this offense just looks explosive right now. This is a very different Becker than we saw in game number 1.
And that's what I mean. The offense can just change in a second, but the defense can also change. Oh my word, Santi's got a great opportunity. Then Mountain Drew tries to find the pass to Yokels. Santi's getting bumped up a little bit. He's not liking that. Yokels, he'll drop it into the center. Is there somebody there? PA was there, but does not manage to capitalize on anything. Mountain Drew, he misses the boost, but he will be able to get a counter attack. Not if you miss the ball completely. Then it will be Reaver picking that up in the midfield, getting that to the backboard, maybe getting a second touch as well. No, he doesn't. It drops to Santa, but he gets blocked by Yokels.
Oh my word, this is back and forth right now. Becker definitely looked like they're sustaining, oh my word, a good defense. But they're not quite finishing to the same degree as the beginning of the game. I think that they got that one goal, and now they're playing a little bit more hesitantly. They're trying to play to make sure that they don't get scored on. They're too scared about losing this lead, and I think they need to focus a little bit more on that offensive firepower. Yokel's taking a bit too much time there. It gave time now. You can see West Point, confident on the back end, had time to set up and get recentered on their defense. So Becker need to keep up that pace that we saw to begin this game. If they can stay with that firepower, if they can stay with that aggression, I think they've got a shot, but they start to get a little bit hesitant. They're going to leave room for West Point to make a comeback here. Speaking of which, Santa with a good second touch, but can't quite get it through. Paul will get in the way. The question is this offense going to keep coming? Oh my word, it does not need to keep building. There is no reason when Reverb can finish it that quickly. What a shot.
Like an eagle through the sky, he hits it with his belly button into the back of the net, and that is the equalizer as well. And that's not a good thing for Becker. They had the lead. At least they scored the first goal and were able to break that a non-scoring streak. This is incredibly awkward though. PA moving a little bit too slowly for Yokel's liking. Bumps him out of the way. And Reverb goes off to the side once again. Mountain Drew, what can he do? He can try and get that center, but there would be nobody there. PA was just sitting back. Yokels tries to go for the touch, but it gets thrown off. It's good enough because Santa thought the touch was coming in. Mountain Drew, it's a little bit of a weak touch once again, and this is what Becker have been struggling with, the touches outwards and getting it clear out of defense.
They're struggling right now to really continually get a good clear and then follow it up. They'll maybe make a clear, they'll maybe get a good follow-up, but it really doesn't seem like the plays last for that long here. It's a very quick turnaround out of West Point where they come back and they're already offensive again. I have to find out if this is going to work out for them, though, as it is a 1-to-1 scoreline. So if Army can't capitalize and if they throw too much at the offense, they might leave some holes in the defense here. So far, they've been able to maintain a good back line, but we've only got a minute left, and this is where the pressure is on the most. This is where you know teams are going to start to make those small mistakes that they normally wouldn't. That's just somewhat of a trend, unfortunately. So they really just, you know, it's the pressure. It's all on. They've got to make that last goal. Right now, as you can see, this is what I was worried about. West Point barely get back to this one, but you can see with that all-out offense, Santa had to rush back there and try to make some sort of save. So it might work out right now for regulation, but if they go into overtime with this, I'm going to be very scared for how they handle the offense of Becker.
Yeah, it's purely if you try not to make mistakes, you'll make mistakes. You have to continue playing the same game, continue doing whatever you were doing before, because that's what got you into overtime in the first place. You got to go off of that. Now Mountain Drew, he misses the ball completely. Yokels will be there for it though, already reading his teammates' misses, and that is also an important skill, knowing what your teammates are capable of and estimating the chance. Up here with a shot saved by Santa. 10 seconds left. Can Santa launch his counter offensive? That's going to be a hit off the ceiling. He reads that well, almost gets it over one, but we will head into overtime. But you need to read your teammates' misses, and currently that's being done well on both sides.
Both sides are doing pretty well here to play with a very team-oriented mindset here. A lot of players, they'll start to just kind of abandon the rotations at the very tense moments where they're just thinking, all right, it's time to score a goal. It's time to do something to end this one, and they won't really focus on, you know, trusting their teammates. That's not a good opportunity, but all of a sudden, neither player touches it. West Point had a chance there. It was such a weird miscommunication, I guess. Really, both teams coming away unscathed. I think both of them had huge mistakes, but luckily for both sides, they will not be capitalized upon, and we will remain in overtime. 40 seconds gone so far, and honestly, the biggest thing to take away from this whole entire encounter is that these teams are about as evenly matched as ever. Both of them could walk away with a series right now. This is incredibly tense.
Oh, and it might be West Point here could break away. This is a good pass into the center. Reverb decides to take it slow. Yokels will get the 50-23 boost left in the tank, and I thought a goal was coming earlier, but there's still the defense. Actually, it might be Mountain Drew going down the other end. It's slightly wide. He gets a second opportunity because Tangbro just did not go for it. And then the rest of Becker were too far out and did not manage, and that was a great opportunity coming in for Becker, and they did not capitalize. And well, any chance that you have and you fail to capitalize on, that might just turn into an opportunity for your opponent, West Point. They're trying to launch this counter-offensive here.
West Point are doing a good job again of keeping this offensive pressure. They're playing the midfield very well. This midline from them is very impressive. Oh my word, and the physical play is great, but the defense of Becker will not crack. Paw coming in with an absolutely incredible save. Oh, well, there's a little bit of a crack. That's a misplay, but Paw will make another one. Savior medal coming up here out of nowhere. I mean, seriously, West Point get these opportunities. They take good shots with them as well. It really is an impressive offense, but the defense, the recovery, Becker are so quick to get back in position if one of their teammates messes up. This is the rotations we were talking about earlier. They are doing a great job playing as a team here, and honestly, it's really impressive for the amount of pressure that is having to be sustained here in overtime. We're 2 minutes in already.
It's absolutely ridiculous. They have 11 saves on the board. They need to make it 12 though. Yokels does make it 12. Reverb tries to rip another shot. And oh my word, West Point, they are continuously on attack, and they're going to be livid if they do end up losing this one, because they surely should have felt like they would win this one. And this is what I mean. They've got continuous pressure, but they're not really able to finish off their opportunities. Now Santa might be able to get it open there, but it would be off the post. Can they save it? No, it will go in at the brink, and the win is for West Point, but only barely. Phenomenal performance by Becker nonetheless.
Oh my word, that was one heck of an overtime. West Point will walk away with the very first, with their second win here, and they now might take the series if they continue on this trend right now. I mean, this is a heartbreaker for Becker. You did everything you could to try and hold off this offense, but honestly, when you take, oh my word, 17 total shots, you have to imagine that at least 2 of them are going to drop in here. Becker making 13 saves. They did a great job, and they really did have a strong offense as well, as they put up 6 shots, but after 17, you have to imagine something's going to drop through, and West Point did exactly that. Becker are definitely looking a lot better than they did in the first game, though. Hyferia, we're going into game 3. West Point are on game point. Do you think Becker have what it takes to try and bring this one back?
If they change their defense, and that might be weird to say considering they've got 13 saves, but they've got 13 saves for a reason. They are not able to break out of defense right now. They need to get bigger booms out of that position, be able to get some boosts, bring some time on the board for them, so they're actually able to counterattack and be prepared for the next offense, because this is basically a grindy match now for West Point. They need to keep that offense going, not overcommit, because then the long shot will just go in, as we almost saw on the side of Becker. Well, they need to be able to break out. They need to get better booms. And if they're able to do that, they will be able to make this comeback. It's going to be tough, but the first game would be a great start, and they've just started out PA onto the other side.
There's definitely a chance here. I think you're 100%. Becker have the ability, but they need to capitalize off of those saves. They need to turn those clears into greater plays. We saw them start off in the last game really well in doing exactly that, but here, oh my word, it's kind of hard to keep a solid defense when you can get passing plays like this. What a good play out of West Point here. The ability to see your teammate like that, Tangbro right out to Reverb, and Reverb will slot it on in. Listen, I know we're talking about how we need to see Becker improve here, but honestly, it's kind of hard. West Point's offense is looking more and more lethal every single time we see them play.
True, very true. A Raider once again, and well, you mentioned it. Their offense is looking better every single time they play. But it's also on the side of Becker. They're giving a little bit too much space. Somebody should have been challenging this earlier on, and then they'll be able to prevent those opportunities from even happening. They need to grab the problem by the throat and slam it to the ground instantly.
They need to get a little bit, I think I agree. They need to get on top of this problem before it becomes a bigger issue, because right now they're leaving gaps in defense that are not something we would have normally seen. I do agree that Becker needed to change their defense from the last game, but to play this spread out, to play this wide of a rotation, I just don't think it's going to work in this matchup. West Point have been so suffocating. For you to give them any extra room, it could be absolutely devastating. So Becker still has some time to bring this one back. We're only about a minute gone with a 2-goal deficit. 2 goals is not the end of the world. It's not going to be easy, especially when your opponents are doing that. Listen, it's definitely possible for Becker, but for a second, we just gotta appreciate that. What on earth, Reverb? Are you kidding me? Flip reset over 2 defenders.
Oh my word, if Becker was a teacher, Reverb would be that annoying kid who disrupts the entire class constantly and just is an absolute nuisance to deal with. He's doing so incredibly well, causing so many problems, and yet again he's up in there getting that touch right into Santa with an opportunity, and that's 4 goals already. Everybody is working so great together at West Point. They are popping.
Oh my word. I mean, listen, this is going to be difficult to stop at this point. It very much seems like West Point are aware that they have got the confidence on their side. They've got the momentum on their side. They seem to have this game in the bag, but we cannot count out Becker yet. There is still so much time on the clock here. Absolutely a chance for a comeback out of Becker, but they need to start now. They need to hold off this offense because West Point, they don't show any signs of slowing down yet. But a defensive error might give a little bit of an opening here. All of a sudden, Becker back in this thing as a defensive misrotation leaves the goal wide open.
Yeah, indeed, a defensive misrotation, and that's not the first one that happens in this current series. So we saw overcommits on the boost on both sides earlier on as well, where there was an ability to rip a shot on target. This one actually goes in, and that's a good start. Mountain Dew tries to get it into the back of the net now as well, but Tangra with a phenomenal clear out. We've not really seen him in offense that much, but that's... Well, he's more that defensive player. You really see him back in defense right there as well. The problem with that is that you're not really going to see much this matchup because, to be honest, West Point is not in defense that much. And this is what I mean. Reverb, he's ridiculous.
We can keep talking about highlight plays out of Reverb all day, it feels like. It's just one after another. That is a beautiful shot. Bounces it underneath his opponent right on into the net here. Reverb is putting on a performance and a half. He is 4 for 5 on shots right now, 4 goals, and has an assist as well. Again, we mentioned it last game that this West Point team, their stat sheets all look good. That's part of why they play so well. They have such a good chemistry here. It very much seems like they have the sight to see everybody else on the fields on their team and really link up when it's necessary. There's about half the game left. There's a chance for Becker to bring this one back, but it's an understatement in the least to say that Army West Point is doing well right now.
Yeah, it's definitely an understatement. They are doing phenomenal. And I think one team that would be able to beat them, and I'm not going to name a specific team, but it's a team that will play more physical, that will try and get those demos in there. Because, well, on the side of West Point, they have a very standard and original rotation, as in Tangbro just kind of sits back and lets Reverb do the offense. And, what can I even say? What can I even say? It works for them. It just works. Reverb, he's ridiculous.
Honestly, it's a ridiculous shot out of Reverb. I don't want to take anything away from it, but again, this is what I mean when they link up. Tangbro with a perfect pass off the backboard. They are just popping off right now. Honestly, this is just a well-oiled machine all around. Listen, we want to talk about how Reverb is 5 for 6 on shots right now. Tangbro has 3 assists. He's got a playmaker. He is literally just dishing them up to everybody on the team. And unfortunately for Becker, this hill that they have to climb gets larger and larger. 5 goals in 2 minutes, and that is just to win their first game of the series. If they can't make this comeback, that is the end of this one, and West Point will take it in 3. There is still a chance, but man, West Point have put on a performance and a half to open up the season.
Yeah, and Tangbro, he's displaying that Rookie League isn't all about being there in offense, being that player who, well, scores the goals. He's not got a single shot on target, yet he's such a pivotal player on the side of West Point. He creates those opportunities. As you said, 3 assists for him and a save coming out. It's just really nice to see someone play, not really with mechanics, but just with his brain. Make sure that he realizes, okay, Santa and Reverb, they make the attack happen. Tangbro actually gets his first showing, does get saved by PA. Well, yeah, no, it's refreshing to see different kinds of plays happening.
Yeah, it's just a good all-around offense. It's a good just play style, and that's what makes this team so exciting here. Again, Becker have put on a good performance. The scary thing is that Becker, against pretty much any other team, they're probably winning right now. They are playing really well. Their defense has done well, but the issue is after 3 games in a row of this much pressure, it's hard to maintain. West Point have just done a phenomenal job here as they put in now their 7th goal. 45 seconds left. They've got the Brazil already. I mean, this has been a play and a half so far. West Point, it's only 1 game in, but I dare say, Hyferia, they're going to be the team to beat for this division.
They are playing phenomenally. And obviously the Brazil, a good old Rocket League meme that's been a long-standing meme as well. It's basically a reference to when Brazil got beat 7-1 by Germany in the World Cup. I think it was, I don't know, like 2012 or 2014. I was actually going to say that. I guessed wrong. I tried to be smart, but Tangbro might get his second goal. No, obviously. Oh, no, it won't be Reverb. Oh, my word. Reverb. Okay, Reverb. Let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about this. You snipe balls out of the sky like there's no tomorrow, and you also backflip on an open net. I don't know. I'm lost.
No matter what, West Point will still take the win here. They may not finish with 8 goals, but, you know, 7-1, I think that's pretty impressive enough. Reaver finishes off with a stat sheet and a half at 5 goals, 2 assists, 9 shots, but honestly, you can look at anybody on West Point and go, what on earth? Tangbro finishes with a goal, 3 assists, a save, and 4 shots. Santa finishes with 1s across the board at 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 save, 1 shot. Everybody on West Point contributed to that game. They played phenomenally throughout that entire series. Becker, they put up a great fight, but unfortunately, West Point, they were just on top of the world today, playing incredibly that entire series.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous how well they were playing. I was hoping for a game 5, obviously, but well, today we didn't see that, and not because Becker were making a lot of mistakes. West Point was playing insane. They were